So today we're talking about false beliefs and how they influence us. And we're going to talk specifically about a belief that my physical appearance makes me sad and how to overcome that. So we've been interviewing and asking people about beliefs that they have that affect them in their life. And one of the questions that we asked is, what are the things in your life that make you sad? And one of the responses that we got is that it's my physical appearance that makes me sad. We want to explore this and look at it from a principle-based perspective because we want to help people be happy and to be empowered and to take control of their life. And if my physical appearance is making me sad, the first thing that I need to understand is that the emotions that we experience in life, they're a choice. So it's not really my physical appearance that is making me sad. It's my belief about my physical appearance that's making me sad. So I want to just share with you real quickly the equation for emotions. Because again, this question and a couple of other videos are about what is it that makes people sad? And when we ask the question, what I was hoping for is that people would just share the ideas that come to the top of their head, because that's coming from the subconscious part of our brain. And our subconscious doesn't question. So if my response is my physical appearance makes me sad, then most likely the subconscious part of my brain believes that. And it says that, okay, if I'm sad, it's because of my physical appearance. Well, that's not true. It's a false belief. But if it's coming from my subconscious and 90% of the time I'm operating and being influenced from my subconscious, then that's what I'm going to believe. Because of my physical appearance, I'm sad, which then means maybe there's nothing that I can do about it because maybe it's my ears that I don't like. I guess there are things that we could do about that, right? I could change up the color of my hair. I could get plastic surgery and I could change parts of my body. And I may have a belief that then that's going to make me happy. The truth is we are not our bodies. So each of us have a body, but that isn't who we are. And anytime we get caught up in this belief that we are our body, then we're going to be in trouble because our bodies are always changing. And there are some things that we can do to affect how our body looks. So, I mean, if we're overweight, there are things that we can do to lose weight. But there are other things about our body that really we can't change. This belief that my value comes from my body, well, that's a belief that we've been taught, that we've been conditioned to believe and that we accept as being true. But the truth is our value comes from within, and who we are comes from within. Imagine what it would mean if our value is based on our physical appearance. And here's something to consider about that. So let's say that value is based on beauty. And so whoever is the most beautiful or the most handsome has the most value. Well, how do you determine what beauty is or who is the most beautiful? Because really that's about preference. You may look at one person and think that that person is beautiful, but I may look at that person and go, I don't think that person is very beautiful at all. And so we have differences of opinion. So if my value comes from what other people think about how I look, and I'm determining my value based on what the world is saying. So, I have to have the right color hair. I have to have the right shape. I have to have all of those things. Then what happens if I meet somebody who sees things differently than maybe the majority of the world sees things? So now I'm going to have to change my appearance in order to get value from this person because I'm going to have to look like this person expects me to look. I can't be everything to all people. We have to understand that beauty and things like that, that's based on preference. It has nothing to do with me. And so once I understand that, and I realize that value comes from within, then I change the things that I focus on. And one of the big things that I need to do is I need to begin to be honest with myself. So if there are things that I'm doing in my behavior that don't go along with my values, then I'm probably not going to feel very good about myself. But I may look for other things to blame why I don't feel good about myself on, such as my physical appearance. So in order to address this, it's important that I be honest with myself. First of all, I have to have a desire to know the truth, and then to be willing to accept the truth. I have to be willing to look at my beliefs. I have to be willing to consider truths. Are there principles that govern the world in which we live? And if I honestly look to determine and to know if that's true, I'll find out that it is true. So just as there is a law of gravity, and I drop this marker, and every time I drop it, it's going to fall, there are other principles that govern relationships and happiness and success. And those principles are accountability, which says I'm the one accountable for my life. No one can take that from me, and I can't give it away to anyone. Choice, which says I have a choice in any circumstance or situation about what I think and how I feel and what I do. And control, and that principle is that I only have control over 3 things, and those 3 things are the things that I have a choice over. I have control over my conscious thoughts, my emotions, and my behavior. Everything else is influence. And so if I have control over my emotions and I'm choosing to feel sad because of the way that I look, then I need to ask myself, well, what am I basing that on? Or I have a thought or belief that's creating that emotion, and if I don't like that emotion, then I have the power to change it up. If I don't want to change it up, it means because this emotion is an outcome of my choices, and everything in life we do for a reason. So if I'm choosing to be sad, there must be something that feeling sad gives me in my life. There must be some payoff for feeling sad. And again, that's where I need to be honest. I need to look at myself and say, okay, well, why would I choose this? If I know that I don't have to, then why would I choose it? What's the payoff that I get from being sad? And if I can identify what the payoff is, then I can ask myself the question, well, is there another way to get that payoff without having to be sad? So again, maybe when I'm sad, that's when people notice me. That's when I get attention. Well, I can ask myself, why do I need other people's attention? What is it that I don't feel good enough about myself? And what is it that maybe I need to change about myself so that I don't look outside of myself for that attention? Maybe I'm trying to avoid really looking at me because I don't want to do the work. I don't want to make the change. I just want somebody else to change. I want things to magically be different. But here's the truth. We live in a world that is governed by laws or principles. It isn't magic. It isn't luck. And if we don't like the way that things are, we have the power to change that up. If I'm sad because of my physical appearance, what I really need to understand is I'm sad because of my thoughts and beliefs. And so if I want to hang on to those thoughts and beliefs, then I'm choosing that outcome of feeling sad. So I need to take accountability for that and own that and say, well, I'm sad because I want to be sad. And if you want to be sad, then be sad, but be accountable for it. Don't blame it on your physical appearance. Recognize that your physical appearance has nothing to do with your value. And so I can change that if I want, but if I don't want to, then there must be a reason for that. So be accountable, accept that, and stay sad for as long as you want to be sad. But when you get tired of being sad, know that you can change that by changing your thinking and changing your beliefs. Thanks for watching today. I encourage you to pay attention in your own life to the emotions that you're experiencing, and then look at what is it that you're doing that could be creating or influencing. And if you don't like it, be willing to take the steps to change. Subscribe to our channel, and if you want to know more about who we are and what we're doing, visit our website at principlebasedliving.com. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, be sure and follow me here.